Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm not sure if you can hear the cows in the background, but they seem to be objecting to something quite vociferously. This will be the 10th video that I've uploaded to YouTube, and I still haven't been able to retire. But joking aside, I thought it was a good opportunity for me to share some of the learnings I've had on my short journey this far, some of the observations and things I have had to consider that I possibly didn't expect. This is not meant to be any advice for anyone. I'm certainly not qualified after 10 videos to give any advice or to make any suggestions. So if you feel I've missed something or got something wrong, or if you had a completely different observation in your journey, please do drop a comment below and let me know if I have missed anything. So what was it that prompted me to start this channel in the first place? Well, I guess it was turning 60. I suddenly realized that I was really getting older. And I'm not sure how much more time I will have in the formal workplace. Because although the government is increasing retirement ages, the reality is that most employers want younger people in their workforce. Around about the same time, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I've been taking medication ever since. So these factors together made me think that I needed to make some changes. I needed to make some lifestyle changes. I decided that it was time to take some action to look after both my physical and my mental health. Now it seems that I'm not very good at giving myself specific goals and sharing them so that I can be held accountable. I prefer to quietly aim for something, and then if I don't achieve it, nobody knows. What better way to be held accountable than to start a YouTube channel where whatever commitments are made are out there in the open, and they're shared with anyone that cares to watch. And that's what I did. I committed to make some lifestyle changes. I have put some goals in place, although I have been careful not to share my goal weight, and I'm still not going to. And so far, I think I've met the goals that I set out to achieve at the start of all of this. So I think I'm on the right track to some extent. My first video went live in May this year, so I'm about 3.5 months into this adventure, a complete newbie. But I've learnt a lot already, and most importantly, I think I'm having fun. Let's get started on the list. The first thing that I learnt when I started this is that I need to plan before I can create any video. For me, that meant writing a script. I needed to have some detail that can then be turned into video clips, which can then be combined into a single production that can be uploaded to YouTube. I found that I need to plan in quite a lot of detail before I get started, otherwise it gets quite messy along the way. The next step is you need to start thinking about filming. For me, I was lucky. I inherited an Insta360 Ace Pro, and I also have an iPhone 17, which has a good camera on it. They're both very different in terms of what they do and should be used for different sequences, for different outputs. Initially, I struggled with the Insta360. The touch screen is very sensitive and very small. It's easy to touch the wrong buttons and to change the settings without realizing it, but it really is a great camera to use. To create good quality clips really is an art, and I have a huge amount still to learn in this regard. The next step was to select video editing software, which I also knew absolutely nothing about. I'm grateful to my son who gave me some suggestions, and I ended up downloading DaVinci Resolve, which is available for free. I then found a really good YouTube tutorial by Justin Brown of Primal Video, which taught me enough to get started. It's incredibly powerful software, and it was all new to me. The terminology such as B-roll, etc. I had to learn from scratch, and the video made it possible. I'm guessing it really must be pretty easy to use because I've managed so far. One thing leads to another. The next thing I needed to get better at was the sound quality. Initially, I really struggled filming on my bicycle and even in my office because I have quite a lot of traffic noise that comes in through the window since I live next to a fairly busy road. So I had to buy this mic, which I've attached to my iPhone. One of the first things I had to buy to improve audio quality was this little lapel mic that I'm wearing now, which connects to the Insta360. It's made a huge difference to the wind noise when I'm walking and even when I'm cycling. These two have made a big difference. The Insta360 mic is particularly competent even on the bicycle where there's wind noise, which is usually a serious problem. I also had to learn where to find free music to download to add to video content. Slowly my equipment has had to grow. I had to buy additional RAM for my laptop as the software became unstable with only 8 meg. I've also slowly accumulated tripods, some lighting, the necessary selfie sticks. Then I also needed mounts for attaching selfie sticks, etc. to my bicycle so that I could film while I was cycling. Before you head out to do some recording, it's good to do an equipment check. It's frustrating to arrive where you're planning to record, only to discover that the battery on your camera is flat or you've brought the wrong camera, or in my case, I've forgotten to bring the lapel mic. So it's a good thing, it's a good practice to have before you cruise out. Know what you're planning to do and be ready for it. File management has become something of a challenge, moving files between devices and creating enough storage space. My laptop has very limited space. I think it only has half a terabyte, and the video files are really large. So I've already had to move files onto an external drive for more permanent storage. It really has been trial and error. I finally seem to be on the right track to develop a process that is repeatable and can work without too much effort. The format and appearance of your channel is quite important, I believe. I'm still working on this, but it's worth taking a bit of time to decide how you want it to appear, what information you're going to show. I have information now on YouTube, but I'm guessing that's going to evolve over time. I'm not entirely comfortable with it, and I'm still developing the vision for my channel. Another key aspect is thumbnails. This is something that has taken me quite a while to get the hang of. Thumbnails are critically important as this is what your potential audience is going to see when they make the choice of whether to simply scroll past or to click on your video and to give it a watch. I wasn't very good with this initially, and I still have a long way to go. I'm still learning, but hopefully I'm a little bit better. You have to put in enough information and the right words that will attract an audience. Probably the most difficult thing that I've encountered is the ability to speak on camera. Camera presence is critical, and it's something that I have no natural aptitude for. For some reason, it seems easier to walk outdoors and talk to a camera on a selfie stick than to sit in my quiet office and speak to a camera there. And I've really struggled to become as comfortable as I am, and I'm still very uncomfortable talking to a camera. So I have a long way to go in that regard, but I am learning. Each time it hopefully becomes a little bit better, and I'm learning to perhaps spend more time on it to get it right. I have become very aware that I say a lot. My first video was probably riddled with ums. I still do say it a lot. It gives us thinking time, I think. As we talk, we'll often use an as a space filler. When I'm editing, I try and edit out as much as possible, but it does create continuity breaks, which are difficult to smooth over. I'm still getting the hang of that. I am still really uncomfortable filming when I'm not alone. And there are just so many people in England, it's almost impossible to be by yourself. Even when you're walking on a path in the forest somewhere, you invariably encounter people walking dogs or just out for a stroll. I found this really difficult, and it's something that I have to practice to get better at. Even when I'm at home, I'm conscious that the neighbors are just over the fence, and I never know when someone's listening. So it's also uncomfortable to stand outside and film, which would be really nice. The personal elements of making videos has certainly been a stretch for me. A lot of the content that I've shared has required an element of vulnerability, which hasn't been easy. Also, I don't really look at myself on a day-to-day basis. It sounds silly, but when I saw myself on video and realized how old I look and how overweight I am, it was quite a shock. It certainly spurred me on to lose some more weight, though. This journey, which started with a focus primarily on my health, has made a big impact to me. I'm a lot fitter than I was at the beginning of the summer, thanks largely to the great hot weather we've been having, but also the commitments I've been making to change my lifestyle. I have been getting out and cycling a lot. I've lost about 8 kilograms in weight, which is really awesome. And my blood pressure is now at textbook levels, so that's fantastic. Another personal aspect that I've learned through the video making process has been the newfound sense of purpose. The YouTube channel has given me some purpose, and it's really feels rewarding to be able to upload a video on a weekly or 10-day basis, even though it's still pretty scary to push that publish button. And the last point of learning that I want to share is time. It takes time. It takes time to learn new skills to enable me specifically to be able to create video content. It takes time to create the content. It takes time to write a script, to plan, to film, to edit, and to upload. And it's going to take time for me to achieve some kind of success from my channel. And that's where the perseverance comes in. So that's a good learning. And I'm having fun, so I'm certainly going to persevere. So that's it. If I ever wanted something to take me out of my comfort zone, I've certainly found it. It's been a challenge. It continues to be a challenge, but I think the excitement is in the opportunity to learn. So for me, that's really awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it.